Hello everyone and welcome to the UML. I am Necrox, joined by Nightstar, and tonight we have a killer matchup between two of the top teams here in DOV, Blades and Dare Maroon. Nightstar, I'm excited to see what these two teams bring to the table.
I'm excited as well. It's been a while since I've been on a unified casting booth, so it's a return to familiar scenes. But for these two teams being unbeaten, yes, both teams had a bye week thrown in there, so perhaps not the most straight up honest records, but 2-0, or it's still undefeated technically. We'll see what they bring to the table. Of course, this is also 11-14. Patch goes soon. But Irelia, man. I've been casting on 11-13. Yeah. I opened the patch notes and I saw what Irelia has on there. I'm like, wait, what? What is this?
Yeah, I mean, sure, Aurelia's good. Ziggs is still good. There's so many champions that just require so much priority, and I mean, sure, Riot wants to make fun of every player that plays Ziggs and nerf his base mana down to, I kid you not, 420. So, I mean, might as well. Just send it, grab your Ziggs, grab your Aurelia, and get a bag of popcorn and sit back and watch these carries go to town.
Yeah, it should be a good time. We'll see what these teams are personally going to be prioritizing. I know Fisher Friends, or both of these junglers, are actually playing a decent amount of Xin. So Xin still relatively okay here. Definitely has all of that gank pressure and gank power of the early game packed into his kit still, so nothing wrong with going for an early Xin pick.
Yeah, absolutely. Even with a later cooldown nerfs, it doesn't matter all too much. He's just a time buyer. And speaking of champions, Nightstar, we are in to game one of our best of three series here between DOV and Dare Maroon. Picks and bans have already started up. It'll be Thresh Shen taken away by DOV. Dare Maroon opting to ban out the Yuumi and the Lulu, looking at a double enchanter ban. And there's that Xin Zhao.
Yeah, and Kakashi, he's been really reliant on the more enchanter bot laners, so that's not too surprising there. And Rhea looking to try and perhaps really take advantage of this top lane matchup, as Winter's Elo has played, of course, 2 games of Shen, Ignite Shen, by the way, so that could have been something to keep track of. But I mean, we kind of hinted at it at the start of the broadcast, but Irelia, surprise, surprise, instantly locked in.
Yeah, not even a subtle hint either. Just straight up calling it out as broken and absolutely lock it in for DOV. No reason not to. Aphelios is in. This has been pretty good for Dare Maroon along the way. They have had a lot of success on this champion in solo queue and beyond. Fish are friends, going to lock in that Trundle. So a very good front to back look for them so far. And quick shout out, and Nivea taken off the board as well, away from Kriz. He's very skillful on that champion, one of the best zone control in the game. We'll see what DOV can respond with. Oh, hello. I'm not sure we have Nightstar here. Hopefully that comes back in just a second. Oh, welcome back, my friend.
Oh, hello. Okay. Apparently we're just lagging out with our Discord. Sometimes Discord does that. I'm not surprised. But Aphelios, of course, one of those champs that's still very strong on the patch as well. Trundle, very fun early game matchup. But yeah, I could see the faces popping off here. And Nami, very interesting champion, but also the K, definitely an exciting champion whenever he comes into the game, but also one of those champs that you know he's not doing a whole lot. And Dare Maroon, they're actually going to respond with the Blitzcrank to try and just really apply pressure onto this Nami pick.
Yeah, just grab the Blitzcrank. I mean, Aphelios has good laning threat, would like to see something to match his ability to bully out his opponents. Blitzcrank may be on that same table there. Not exactly sure if Applause is going to be able to apply that same pressure, but we'll see. Blitzcrank very hit or miss style. You either land the hook or you don't. It's one or the other. We'll see what they can do with it. And with our second phase, it looks like AD Carry going to be the target here. Wolfie has had his pool pinched. Karma taken off the board as well by DOV.
And the big thing here with this Blitzcrank pick is the fact that Blitzcrank can also just roam, whereas Nami roams not as powerful. You're kind of just walking over there, maybe pop a heal. The bubble, very difficult to land, especially when people are very active on trying to dodge that kind of CC. And it looks like we're going to see that Ornn hovered in, locked in, provides just a solid front line. It allows you to also play weak side top, which I'd imagine is what Dare is really trying to do. Funnel resources into this Aphelios, get this Blitzcrank roaming early and often.
Yeah, and if you get Blitzcrank into solo lane with the R5 pick here, hopefully going to be something along the lines of a counter matchup. Could really swing that mid lane. Vayne is going to be selected here for Wolfie. If you want to kill an Ornn, you want to kill a Trundle, that is the champion to do it. Even the Blitzcrank going to have a large time locking down the Vayne. Tumble, really short cooldown. Rocket Grab, not so much. And even if you get pulled in, now there's a revive on your back. This is a full-on carry composition. You have 2 plus maybe a Kayn. Probably going to be going red Kayn, though, just for the healing. And, oh, please lock in a Radiant Soul. I got to get my textbook out from way back when this champion was viable. I'm not sure we're going to see it, but it would certainly be cool.
It certainly would be really cool. I have a friend that plays a lot of it, but you know, the Ziggs makes a lot more sense. Especially when you already see the Zilean pick come out, you know you have the opportunity and space to just kind of scale alongside the Zilean pick. So the big thing here for Dare Maroon is just the fact that they have all these lanes that are really looking to sit back and scale. It'll be interesting to see where they apply the early game pressure coming in from this Trundle, because he wants to be super active on the map just because he doesn't clear the jungle very well. And with his ups, it's really saying, hey Trundle, keep farming. And Trundle's like, no, I don't want to farm.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see where these junglers path throughout the game. I'm not entirely sure. Kayn probably going to be going red, so needs to hit some sort of a melee champion. Bot lane does that in half of their champions, but outside of that, you have to go top lane. And top lane is a spicy matchup. Pretty sure we're getting an Aurelia up there from Yui. We'll see if he can dominate this matchup, but after the Bramble Vest is completed with the Steel Caps, becomes pretty hard to kill that Ornn from 100 to 0.
Definitely becomes really annoying to try and finish off the Ornn up in that solo lane, and perhaps they try and do a couple lane swaps. I can definitely see the Irelia into Ziggs matchup working really, really well here, and then you just have the Zilean go top lane. That's definitely a possibility. We've seen it in the past as well, when that was, I believe, with Spell Thieves was the thing, top lane though. So a bit of a different patch. However, you're definitely not under threat as a Zilean into that Ornn pick.
Yeah, I mean, I doubt we're going to get the Zilean top, but we'll see. We'll see where things are headed. I know Gunshin does play the Zilean, so would expect him to take that one in. Nightstar, my only other question to you before we go in, if you had to point out some superstars on either team, if you want to see either member pop off, one from DOV and one from Dare Maroon, who is going to carry game 1 and proceed to take us to a 1-0 either way?
There's definitely a lot of champs to pick from, right? For DOV, you've got the Vayne, you've got the Kayn, you've got the Irelia. I really think that this Irelia is set to really succeed here. So all eyes on the Irelia pick. Of course, it's probably one of the most busted champs in this patch as well. So all things align. The stars align. And over on the side of Dare Maroon, it has to just be this Aphelios pick. You're having a weak side top laner. You have a relatively, it's mostly a control matchup in this mid lane, so not a ton of kill pressure coming in either side, and it just says we're going to throw as much gold into this Aphelios, and Urasan, you better carry us to the promised land.
Yeah, it is my bread and butter champion, 200 years, man. This champion always puts a smile on my face, but he's throwing those chakrams from 3 screens away. We'll see how things shake out in the Rift, though, as where things lie going ahead. It's 6-0 between these two teams. No one has lost their series. Sure, there's some buys here and there, but regardless, no one has dropped a series throughout. We'll see where we go in just a couple minutes as we get ready to see these two teams duke it out. We'll be back in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. Good evening as a clock strikes 8:46 p.m. EST. Game 1 is underway between DOV and DRE. I am Necrox, joined by Nightstar once again. The story is set. It is two top teams at the top of the tables respectively, looking to break their deadlock, either at 3-0, and I think we're getting level 1 shenanigans. There's a Blitzcrank on the Rift, which means we're always going for a level 1.
They're definitely going to be hunting for it, and plenty of targets that they can really grab and burst relatively easily. Definitely no tanks existing over on the side of DOV, but it's actually a pretty quiet start. Just putting down a ward, and both teams just saying, hey, I see you.
Yeah, just testing the waters here, seeing what's going on. And honestly, if you don't see anyone in the 5 point there for applause, you probably have to assume they're stacking a brush, and that's exactly what was going on for DOV. So smart there not to pull the trigger on something that you don't know what's going on, and so they will walk away no problem. Jungler's going to be started on opposite sides of the Rift, though. Fish Are Friends, a substitute jungle here for Maroon, be started on this blue side. Meanwhile, GGMB going to be headed the opposite direction towards this bot lane.
And I think for Fish Are Friends, to be fair, I wouldn't be super surprised if he tries to go for a bit of a cheese play here, going straight into that bot lane, level 2 or something. Just try and take advantage of the fact that he is in this bottom side. And usually no one's really worried about a level 1 hook from the Blitzcrank, but if Trundle's there, definitely can have great follow-up onto it.
Yeah, certainly. With the pillar, we'll be able to provide that much more CC. And the power of Aurelia is showcased in top lane here for Yui as he just chunks down Winters with a few auto attacks, no problem. Doesn't even need the flawless duet to make that trade go his way. Level 2 in bot lane here for Wolfie as well. So all across the board, DOV's lanes getting their advantages already. Off to a nice start here. Nothing to sneeze at, but definitely what you want to see is nice pace advantage here for GGMB as well to start things off on the Kane.
Another trade going through is, of course, the level advantage there up in the top side. So Winner Zelo, this is pretty much when things are unfun, but Fish Are Friends paying a visit.
Yeah, this one's not looking too good. Flash away from the Ornn, but it does not matter. The club had the smackdown in its first blood to Maroon. Pull in.
First blood there, hook. Okay.
Fine, no
Too
worries.
much to get off of that, though.
Yurasan just going to be hanging out here in bot lane using the trade, but it's return angle after the teleport. Maybe able to trade this one back, though. This time the Q lands, and Yui has gotten it one. Now he's looking for the reset, not able to get the kill. The flash away for the Trundle means it will not be a double kill, but the return gank does not pay off. But it's now time for number 3. With the teleport arriving, Yui has to run, but not enough health for Friends. Fish
coming back?
Friends, excuse me, is... He'll just be headed to the crab now, and maybe there's a return angle once again, but all this counter jungling done. This is huge tempo lead for GGMB.
It's a very large CS lead that's going to be accumulated by GGMB here. And yeah, this is just what Trundle does. He's trying to make life miserable up in that top side, and Yui, well, he's feeling how miserable of a time it is. Even though he has a 9 CS advantage, Wave is now crashing into Winner Zelo. If he's able to control this and keep it stuck in front of that tower, it is absolutely dire straits for Yui.
Yeah, if he can keep this freeze, it's really, really good, certainly. But if Yui can play safe and avoid this Trundle pressure, then your jungler is so far ahead. GGMB is going to run this jungle, no problem. All he has to do is start getting his way towards one form or another, and it can really start to become an issue here, as he does think about it, go into the bot lane, but instead will channel his recall, and that is a first base every jungler would fall in love with. Iron Spike Whip, plus the refillable kept, and you have now a pink cord. Excellent stuff here for GGMB on this game.
definitely signals that he's looking for red Kane here, so look for him to turn attention topside. But down in this bot lane, oh, teleport.
Teleport showing up, but Yurson having a flash away, but I think he might just be dead. Heal is good, but the bomb lands and tick, tick, boom. It is Gunshin showing up using the flash of his own to make the play, and he drops Yurson straight down to the grave.
Very, very clean teleport there, taking full advantage, gets himself a kill on the back end, and it was definitely going to be a teleport he was going to use anyways. He was looking to go recall and then come back into the mid lane, and play just so happened to go bottom, and might as well make a visit there while I'm at it.
Absolutely great stuff here from DOV in the early stages of this game, and everyone showing their prowess. Wolfie up some CS, good start. Jungler absolutely gapped right now as Yui in topside. Yeah, he's still winning his lane as well. He's up CS, has a kill over the Ornn as well, and you're never going to have kill threat on this matchup. And now Gunshin with no flash, maybe in a little bit of trouble. I'm not sure how fast you're going to run away from this one. The Resurrect is on, but here come the bombs from the Zillion. Chomp down once again, and Gunshin is sentenced to death. Final auto picks it up, and DRE claim one back.
And while Fisher Friends is getting really gapped when it comes to the CS department, he is making good use of his time at the very least. He's sent a lot of attention topside to try and bail out this Ornn, and now a very opportunistic gank into the mid lane because Zillion didn't have flash, and Ziggs, well, he was getting pushed in just a little bit, and it makes for a very easy setup. But now numbers advantage for DOV as they try and take Dragon.
Yeah, and they're just going to take this one no problem unless Applause hits some miracle hook here. Not sure there's an angle to fight, really. So this first Drake will go the way of MB as well. This is really good stuff. 26 to 65 farm. Make it 30 as he picks up his own blue buff, but this is a canyon in the jungle right now. I just don't know if all that time topside is going to pay off.
It'll really make its mark once we hit that first team fight, but they're trying to gank bot.
Okay, pull in from Applause, going down pretty low. Wolfie not able to find
the
silver bolts, but Wolfie's first to drop, and this is gonna make it 2. It's a buy one, get one free sale in the bot lane, and Chris picks them both up.
A great row for both of these mid laners, right? Gunshin came down, got the kill onto Urson, but now the response teleport coming in from Chrismeister. He gets himself 2 kills, and now this Ziggs is just really, really well set up to just carry the whole game with, while there is a decent amount of dive with the Kane, with the Irelia, if he's able to position himself well enough, or at least in a spot where they can't get both the Aphelios and the Ziggs, one of them is going to pop off in these fights.
Yeah, certainly. You have an Ornn, you have a Trundle, you have a Blitzcrank. It's 3 frontliners who are just going to sit there and tank damage for you and provide CC. Gotta have an opportunity one way or another. Flash out from Kakashi as the pull was going to connect, but we'll have to burn the 5-minute summoner as Fish Our Friends is here as well. So excellent stuff from DRE to find something to get back in this game. And now with a lead to boot over their opponents. Nice double bomb in mid lane will force Chris probably on a recall here. Out of mana, not much health to work with. Fish gonna help push out this wave, but that's all he's here to do.
He's just going straight up the river at this point. I expect him to just run straight top as well to reset the wave, but aggression bot lane still.
Oh my gosh, they're going in for the 2v2. There's a lot of chakrams. Pull lands under the turret. Kakashi's been pulled up, knocked up, and taken down. Need one more auto onto the Aphelios. It's not able to find it, tumbling forward for the kill, but now it's Wolfie in trouble. Applause has no mana, but has a fist ready to knock Wolfie up in the air, not able to find it. 1 HP, the minions may take him out, but the shielding's in time. The Resurrect used as well. Gunshin shown up just by the nick of his skin, and barely able to survive there on the bot side. DOV maybe get away with a crime there in bot lane.
Wolfie, I don't know if that's that's definitely a crime. There's no doubt about it. Him walking away with that HP, it makes sense as well why Applause wasn't able to capitalize on that low HP because of the fact that he had no mana in Blitzcrank. He just has to hobble after the already 2 tier 2 boots completed onto the Vayne. There's no way you can actually chase her down in that regard, but Chrismeister at least able to secure himself a plate in that mid lane, and it is a full plate that he doesn't have to split gold with, so that'll feel real nice. And that's also one of the big draws of playing a Ziggs mid, is that if they ever decide to roam on you, you instantly just start bodying their tower with how much damage your passive does.
Yeah, and using those abilities to lower it as well makes it that much more troublesome for DOV as they lose quite a bit there. Another pull in bot lane, still has red-white combo, but I'm not sure the fight is going to go their way. There's a nice tidal wave, but flashing forward, but his life is traded immediately. Here comes Wolfie on the re-engage along with the teleport, and Yui showing up, taking names, and kicking applause straight down. It is DOV finding a 2-for-1 in bot lane once again.
And I love Gunshin's response with that gank. He makes his way down and just says, all right, you guys don't really need me. Let me just channel my passive while you guys finish that. But now, Ornal.
Okay, they're going to call it onto MB. Don't have enough follow-up, though. It's only a Ziggs. There's not enough lockdown, and Herald's going to be secured, but MB maybe in a little bit of trouble. Going to use that Umbral Trespass onto Winter. It's going to get a lot of health back, but not all too much. The Resurrect going to be on. There's the Resurrect, the Chrono Shift. Going to bring him back to life, but he's in the middle of 3 members, flashing away. There's the bomb over the top, and like LeBron, he shuts him down, and now Yui's flashing forward, looking for the resets with the Blade Surge, able to find number 1, looking for number 2, but he's going to be exploded by Applause, who's now chasing Gunshin back, who's running real fast, but can he dodge the hook? The cooldown is not up, so DOV will be able to run away, but Rift-tailed and 2 members for the price of 1.
Oh my lord, and DRE, they are going to town. And I mean, for the side of DOV, they've kind of handshook that fight over at that Rift Herald area. I would assume GGMB, he thought he could buy more than enough time with his stasis along with the Zillion stasis, but unfortunately they didn't get there fast enough. And Chrismeister now, he got first tower, a kill, and 5 plates.
Okay, just solo kills the enemy mid laner. Now Chris is going to drop the shutdown, going to be handed over to GGMB as Winters has to walk out from this one. The teleport not able to save his mid laner. It is gold in the hands of GGMB, who has had a huge lead this entire game as he continues to farm up a storm.
Farming up a storm, but you'd still definitely feel the impact created by this Trundle pick. He got that fight around that Rift Herald, of course, and yes, he is a level down, but that's just what Trundle does. He's going to fall behind. He still is going to be very, very useful on low econ because of just how his ult works. And so far, I think both teams are kind of happy with where they are. DRE, of course, getting this lead with, I would say, the better backline scaling composition. And for DOV, well, you have the Irelia that is online. And then you also have this very, very farmed Kayn.
Okay, looking for an aggressive trade here. Blade of the Rune King does a lot of work. There's the Vanguard's Edge, and there's your solo kill for Yui in top lane. Beautifully done, and man, is that champion got the power to back up the talk. Chris needs to be careful, though, in mid lane. He's going pretty low. Bomb's not able to finish him off. He'll be able to walk out, but now it's Chris at 1 HP, having to use his ulti just to clear this wave out, as Fish is going to be able to clean this one up for him. Applause fishing for hook, not able to find it.
For the hook, it's not there though, and we do see the Blade of Rune King now completed onto the Irelia. 4-2-0, going to town, farming quite a few plates as well up in the top side, and gold lead, not that large, but for where this composition, you know, kind of expects to be, I would say this is a pretty good spot here for the side of Maroon. So all things looking up for them, and it really just comes down to how do they control this Vayne pick, because the Vayne so far doing a lot of work.
Yeah, a lot of work
almost
put in by
misread it.
Yurasan there with the Moonlight Vigil, just barely not able to finish off the kill, but they do get the heal out of Kakashi, so that one will be on cooldown. Honestly, the biggest point here for me, Nightstar, is what we got coming up and looking towards the future. It is DRE with a sizable lead. I don't want to say it's a big one, but it's certainly substantial, and they can push this into their easy to execute front to back 5v5 composition. As long as they can stand behind Winters and put their two carries in a free fire position, they will do so much damage. And you can look at the gold now. Thank you, observers, for toggling just how far ahead these carries are. It is just about 600 in the bot lane for Yurasan, and it is a massive lead in mid lane. They will be able to do so much damage come these 5v5 team fights.
And this is like very stark contrast here from these teams, right? For the side of DOV, it's an insanely strong top half of the map. You've got the Irelia ahead, you've got the Kayn ahead, but then you look into that mid lane, look into that bottom lane. These late game scaling hyper carries, they're online probably 5 minutes earlier than they should be. So this is an insanely scary first team fight, which should probably happen in 70 seconds.
Yeah, looking at that Infernal Drake in just about 70 seconds. Now tick down to about 60. Keep an eye on that timer in the top left. And while this individual Drake might not mean too much, what it does mean is a step towards an easier win condition in a soul. We'll see if either team want to make that aggressive step, as Applause once again trying for that hook, but will not be able to find it. Turret should fall over. There you go, Wolfie, able to clean that one up. Even had support from the jungle there just to make sure they could knock that one down. And, well, it'll be river priority for DRE, but its base is coming in for Wolfie. He's able to pick up a couple more bits. Longsword here, dagger there. Yurasan going to keep himself on the map. Teleport available for Winters in just a second. He'll probably opt to TP back into this one, but now it's DOV having to head into straight darkness.
Yeah, and you can see why they went for the recall, because they had items to go get. Unfortunately, though, it does mean that they give up a lot of ground in this bottom half of the map. So how do they get back into this? That's going to be a really difficult problem to solve, because they don't have anyone that can just walk and face check bushes. So it just comes down to, does Applause miss the hook? And right then and there, he did indeed miss the hook. So concedes a little bit of ground as they wait for that cooldown to come back up.
Yeah, and they're going to have to back up as well, as Winters has now TP'd in. Does have the Ornhorn to start things off if he wants to, but Fish and Friends here on the front line. It is red-white for Aphelios, and it is an item and a half for Yui. Those are the two members you want to keep your eyes on in this fight. Chris has an ulti available. A relatively short cooldown as well. Pillar used, but it's only poke back and forth. Drake yet to be started up. Who's going to find the trigger? There it is. It's going to find its way onto the enemy jungler. There's a resurrect coming in. It's going to be proc, but Yui's one shot. It's Fish and Friends picking up kill number one. GGMB going to keep himself healthy as he goes into the Umbral Trespass looking for kill as it traded back onto the enemy jungle. Fish and Friends, the second one to fall, but Wolfie cannot survive any longer. The Eddie carry has fallen. And MB on the run, but he cannot run far away enough. He will die eventually. Winters bonks him upside the head and slaps him down. It is DRE taking their team fight win.
DRE find a massive team fight victory there, and this AoE from both of these backline carries is just too much to handle right now for the side of DOV. You saw Irelia tried to get access into the backline, and it instantly just got popped. And with that, there's just not enough backline threat without the Irelia. The Kayn doesn't do enough because he is red Kayn. He's there to buy time, not to one-shot carries. And that's just how the cookie crumbles in that last fight. DRE run away with a massive, massive lead. Even though it only shows 2K, it means so much more.
Yeah, and it's not only a step towards the soul, it's a gold lead, it's map pressure, everything, unless Friends gets picked off here, which could mean Rift Herald towards the end. He has no flash. Here comes Yurasan trying to save him, but he has no Moonlight Vigil to spread out that route. It's already been used now, and I think this Trundle is cooked. He's going to fall as GGMB picks up the kill, and just about perfect timing. Baron's on the board, but does DOV want to start this one up so soon?
really just comes down to, do they have Wolfie in position to help him
Okay, they're
out? I
going
don't
for it.
think they do it fast enough with just these three, even though they are trying to commit.
Yurasan has his Moonlight Vigil in just a second. Baron's going to be started up, taken down to
A lot
about
of damage.
10,000 HP. Big damage over the wall from the Ziggs. They got to be careful for the poke. And just like that, Chris single-handedly pushes them off this objective.
It's really just illegal if you try and do a 20-minute Baron against a Ziggs, because your MR is just getting absolutely decimated by the Baron autos. That just makes it so much easier for Ziggs to just pop you. So if they committed, that was definitely going to be a mega Inferno bomb just dropped on their heads, and that could have just been game over at that rate.
Yeah, Chris, really well done there, using the full power of this long-range artillery mage, and he pushes off DOV away from this Baron after a pretty bad mistake from Fisher Friends, but he'll be happy to see his team was ready to support his mistake regardless, and still this advantage to DRE. But what's more important than just having an advantage is how they push this tempo, and it's all on Chris. He is the siege here. We were talking about how easy it is for Ziggs to knock down turrets. They only have one. It is a lot of standing gold left on the map. As Chris, he just needs a team around him. He can easily knock down these last two outers, pick up some more gold, and push their advantage even further.
And it's also very stark contrast in how these turrets are lined up, right? For DOV, they've been able to obtain both of the side lane towers in that top and the bottom, and for DRE, it is just that mid lane tower. So a very strange set of tower arrangement that we have here on the map. Definitely not a very common one you would see at 22 minutes into the game.
Yeah, and it's just really because of the side lane threat. Yui had not dumpstered Winter's elo in this top lane, but definitely did good considering all the attention he got. Big CS lead up there. Now has two items with a Gorge Drinker plus the Blade of the Ruined King and the Steel Caps to keep himself alive from this Aphelios threat in the back line. And the other item breakpoints have come through as well. You have Black Cleaver, you have the PD. Here comes the engage, though. Ornhorn going to be called down to the bottom side near the Drake. Wolfie has no flash. He's caught in a rock in a hard place, and it's only so left to live, but instead he's going to turn it around. Wolfie looking to make the play, gets applause to go down, and he trades his life 1 for 1. 80 carry for support is not valuable, but it's lucky to get out of that one with a 1 for 1 trade.
So able to get a 1 for 1 is not too bad there. Given the fact that he got something out of a very, very poor situation. And, I mean, in 10 out of 10 times, he was going to die. So, with or without the Zillion ult, it really was just an attempt to get a kill off the back end. And now they're going to try and chase for this Irelia pick. She could also go 1 for 1.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Big bomb from Chris makes that one not fair. I was about to ask you, Nightstar, what are the odds Yui just turns around and 2v1s this one? Because I'm pretty sure those numbers were looking pretty good. But Chris says no, drops the bomb, and clears out Yui, no problem. 2 members dead here for DOV. Wolfie is respawning, so headed down mid lane as quick as possible. Applause looking for the hook. Nice dodge there by Gunshin. Need to be careful. These members getting picked off a little too all calm. And Applause again. Looking, hanging around, waiting for that hook to come off cooldown, and DOV really need to respect this Blitzcrank and the pick potential from the Ornhorn, because don't like what I'm seeing. Getting caught out is never something you wanna witness.
And the other thing is, for DRE, they have great setup for the Blitzcrank hook, right? Because if you use the satchel charge coming in from the Ziggs, it stuns them after they get popped up into the air. It sets up for a nice hook there. And then you also have, of course, the Ornn CC and the Trundle CC. So plenty of tools to make this Blitzcrank hook, a very difficult skill shot to land, a lot easier to do so.
Okay, it is red-white once again for Urson. Good gun management for him so far this game. Has the Runon's Hurricane completed. Definitely able to do lots of AoE along with Kriz. Again, it is their Maroon that has priority over this Dragon. It is sole point for them. Drake's already taken to about 2,000. Here comes the steal attempt. Smite not in time, and GGMB simply has to queue back over as DRE get their third Drake. No contest. DOV just watch them take it in front of their eyes.
In that third dragon, puts him on the sole point here. And really, they're just looking to buy time here as the timer starts ticking down for that next dragon. They don't have to do anything too extravagant here in the next 4.5 minutes. All they have to do, make sure they maintain these side lanes so they don't lose that tier 2 and perhaps get some vision collapsed upon in their jungle. And okay, looking to try and steal a Gromp there. Won't be able to do so. And yeah, it's just going to be them trying to keep things as calm as possible.
Oh my gosh, Wolfie's going in. The hook doesn't land, but here comes a Moonlight Vigil. That doesn't land either. Wolfie is dodging everything under the turret. Not able to finish Applause. But almost a 1v2 effort. The heal from Kakashi was there, but Applause escaping with 1 HP, getting the shield blow off of Yurisan. This Vayne, my friends, is fully online at 2.5 items. It is going to be Rage Blade third, and that is maximum true damage potential. And with a chunk onto the enemy bot lane, it is DOV starting up this Baron once again. Gunshin here maybe caught out a little bit too far, having to use the speed to get himself away. Big bomb over the top. Here comes Yornhorn as well. Finds a big knockup.
Taking so much damage.
Baron taken down to about 2,000 already. Chris Meister is going to find the enemy jungle, and it's stolen away by Fish Are Friends. It is the easiest smite secure when the enemy has no smite at all. And here comes the chase. It is 4 members at 1 HP. All it would require with 1 AoE. Here comes a Resurrect with a Chrono Shift. The bomb's going to be flashed away. Double flash out, but they have been left to die. Wolfie gets a trade in the back end. Lucky to be able to find it, but it is Baron secured by Maroon, and it is disaster for DOV.
They are able to at least get 1-for-1 on that very end of the fight, but that's all they find. They lose Baron to DRE. DRE run away with everything. And DOV are just fortunate enough to even be able to walk out with 3 members because their combined health pools, not even close to 1 full member's health pool right there.
Yeah, Winter Zelo probably had double the HP of everyone combined towards the end of that fight. And oh, damn, Maroon really get away with one there. And honestly, so did DOV, because they probably all should have died. But yeah, amazing stuff from Chris. Again, with a bomb over the wall. He has a Rabadon's death cap now. He has so much damage on this Ziggs. And I was surprised to see it go so far through draft, but ended up picking it up towards the end. And Chris is making this champion look just as busted as ever. But now the time comes, you have to start sieging turrets. We haven't seen Dare Maroon able to take down many structures this game, and they're going to have to want to get use off this Baron. But that requires Chris grouping up with his team, not just pushing out side waves and actually getting structures.
Yeah, and I'm perfectly fine with a more conservative approach here, and it does feel like DRE, they're using this Baron just to get as much fighting power as possible now. And I think what's really going to be the focal point is, of course, this dragon is coming up in 80 seconds. And if you try and split push a little bit too hastily here, you will still get bodied by this Irelia sitting in the side lane just hunting for you. So they do have to be a little bit careful here. And Fish Our Friends, he could be the one to fall victim.
Okay, doesn't see it. Here comes the teleport in from Winters. Can they take this 2v2 though? Aurelia is very strong. Already has 2 items played. The Rune King gonna be popped. Ziggs, massive damage over the top, and they found Yui. The Gore Drinker is not enough to keep him alive. Umbral Trespass now gonna be used. Aphelios not able to find the mark. That means GGMB is going to buy so much time on the back end as he tries to run away. Pillar beautifully to interrupt. There's the sweeping reach, but won't able to find the slow. And now it's Gunshin caught out. Applause gonna be rooted up by Everfrost, but Applause still looking for more. Gunshin able to escape there just in time as he's going to be run down. GGMB as well. I think this one is absolute trouble. Wolfie, though, is going to find so much damage on the Winters. He dies in about 4 autos. Now it's Yurisan looking to make the play. Exhaust is used. Flash away. Plus the shield blow. Now it's Kakashi that's going to be taken down. It is a double kill to this Trundle. The troll under the bridge has surpassed. It is an ace. Dude, Dare Maroon as DOV are wiped off the map.
Tried to get access into the base. They were able to get the inhib, but unfortunately for them, they forgot to pay the toll. And you know what the troll does? He murders you on sight. But Now it will be DRE getting a very, very uncontested Dragon Soul. They get Inferno Soul, and Inferno Soul on Ziggs, no one wants to see that. I don't. The thing is, with DOV, they're not going to be able to see it because once one bomb lands on you, you're already dead. You're sent to gray screen.
Does that count as seeing it? If you see the bomb flying towards you, it hits your face, and your whole screen goes gray in that instant? Yeah, I don't know. This is really rough stuff from DOV now. Not together, not on the same page. Half the team wanted to contest the bot lane fight, and then half the team wanted to stay top lane and try to take the base. They don't even get the inhibitor for the pressure point. And now Maroon own Summoner's Rift. They might not have a lot of turrets right now, but give it another 5 minutes and this team is probably going to be in DOV's base.
Now they're turning in their attention into mid lane. That's the teleport coming in from Cruisemeister. You do have to keep your eyes on this Vayne, though. While they've been really good at shutting down Yui when it comes to these team fights, of course, it makes it a lot easier when you do have a Trundle who can instantly shred those resistances on this Irelia to just absolutely pop her. The problem is this Vayne, as she's under threat.
Okay, GGMB gonna go into the middle of the team. There's the Resurrect on him. The Syrinx is propped to so much extra healing, but it's Kriz that goes down. Yui's gonna trade his life 1-for-1 for the enemy mid lane, but Wolfie's still kiting forward. The knockup's gonna find it, but not before Wolfie flashed and found one. Make it two. Double kill to this Vayne. It is all on Urasan now, and it is only applause to support. Double buff Vayne versus an Aphelios. That is not a matchup you want to take, my friend. Throwing down the sentry just to buy a little bit of space, but it is now Urasan and applause pushing down mid, but they are flanked by the enemy bot lane. They need to be careful. It is a 2v2, but this is not the right side of Summoner's Rift. Wolf, he's now going to be chased down by the red-white combo. Has a root, has chakrams, but the bubble's not able to find it. Applause using the ulti. Beautiful hooks to find Wolfie, and it's a double kill to the Aphelios as 200 years rains down hell onto Kashi as DRE finally find their 5-man wipe and now head straight down the mid lane.
I don't know how much they're going to be able to get off of this, though, because teleport is now up and available on this Irelia. If she wants to go for some sort of flank, she can definitely try and make that play, but it does look like DRE, they're going to turn their attention over to the Baron that has respawned. They pulled in the teleports, and they do have Trundle quickly on his way.
Genshin has teleport as well if they do want to be able to fight this, but they do not have Wolfie, who is such a critical member to this team fight at this point. It is full offensive itemization other than that Warden's Mail, but this one's gone. This is already done and dusted. Smite secures it. Nice hook over the wall, finds the enemy jungle, and it is Yui that is deleted instead. Yui cannot survive for more than half a second. Blink and you miss it. Yui dead, Baron secured.
Irelia down. That's all the backline threat that they have, so they can definitely look to try and end this game instead of going for the recall. We'll look for them to try and punish, but Fisher Friends going low.
Okay, they want in. The Resurrect going to be used, but Winter Zelo taken down, taken out. And it's a 2-for-1 trade now, making a 3-for-1 fight as Yui is deleted. Applause. Barely able to keep himself alive. This Genshin and Kakashi to defend the base, but I do not think they can do it. That was your last fight. That was your last stand, your last-ditch effort to draw your mark in the sand. DRE undefeated along with DOV, but only one of them could say the same after this one. Game 1 going to go the way of Maroon as they take down DOV in style.
Maroon absolutely decimating DOV when it came to those mid and late game team fights. And yes, Fish Are Friends, he fell very, very far behind on the Trundle pick, but that's all he had to do. He just had to make sure his lanes were fine from that early game. It's okay for him to sacrifice a lot of his time and resources to make sure those lanes are okay. And once they hit mid-game, this comp just packed so much AoE and so much raw damage that the side of DOV had no answers.
Massive props to Kriz, not only forcing enemy team off Baron almost single-handedly, but finding such important Ziggs bombs on Yui in these team fights. Irelia is already really hard to navigate in a full-on 5v5, having to dodge skill shots, let alone having to land precision Qs on critical targets. You throw down Ziggs bombs, it's just so hard to navigate, and honestly, Kriz did it excellently in this mid lane. Also, Urasan on the Aphelios, pretty low death count as well. Good stuff from this team to start off the night.
The terrain control was just immense coming in from the side of their Maroon. And for the side of DOV, yes, you were able to get your overpowered Irelia pick, but is that enough to really carry you through? We'll have to find out what they can do to supplement that Irelia pick in that next game.
Yeah, definitely need some more there than just the Irelia. Not able to clean it up, but it is their Maroon taking us 1-0 so far. Excited to see where these two undefeated teams head, whether we're getting a game 3 or their Maroon can kick DOV to the curb. We'll be back in just a moment with game 2 draft. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everyone, to UML. I'm Necrox, again joined by Nightstar. Straight after game 1, no time to mess around. Bans are already done. Aphelios is already locked in. And Yuumi, what does she do to deserve this? Take it off the board. Like, first ban of the game. Come on. I love this champion, said no one ever. Come on.
Said every 80 carry. But DOV, they've decided to prioritize not the Irelia, but rather the Aphelios. And I mean, it really just comes down to the fact Urasan, he was just absolutely popping off. Yes, he struggled in lane at times in the 1v1, but that's just what Vayne is built to do. And
Yeah.
DOV, they're going to try and change their draft strat by throwing in a little bit of terrain control themselves with the Azir.
Yeah, I think we might have a remake on the cards here for our draft, so keep an eye out for that, and we'll keep you updated as we go on. Does seem that Leona has been locked in. I think things might have fixed themselves here, Nightstar, so no worries. Some tech issues just get solved as time passes. GGM beat, lock it in the Leona. Don't think we're getting that one in the jungle, though, as Kakashi will be playing something more aggressive this time, trying to take it to Aphelios. Urasan certainly did a lot of work on that one, but Gunshin with the Azir. Nice response into the Aphelios, but Thresh, man, this duo is just too good.
Thresh Aphelios, the standard overpowered lane. The classic partner for Aphelios is I've pretty much gone into outer space. I'm going straight into the Matrix to find what these next picks are. So we'll have to wait and see if it solves itself or if I just go elsewhere. But Xin also another pick that makes a lot of sense. You want to pack that early game. Fish Our Friends, clearly just an early game driven player. And this Affiliates makes a lot of sense. But DOV, they're going straight in as this Samira. That's a lot of backline pressure if you go in with also the Shriema shuffle.
Yeah, I mean, sure, lock it in, grab the Samira, pair it up with Leona, double E level 1, and just go forward. Maybe you can make the play, maybe you get flayed out and die at level 1 and look like a bunch of clowns. I don't know. We'll see what they can find here in the bot lane. Wolfie obviously did pretty good work on that Bane last game. Times of over-aggression, hopefully we don't see the same thing here on the Samira. Definitely need to bide your time and make space when necessary. But instead, we'll have to wait for the enemy solo lane here in topside. Think that's where we're headed for counterpick here for DOV. That means Trundle is going to be banned away as well. Apparently that one was a problem. Didn't think it would be Maroon banning that one out, but sure, might as well.
And the Trundle pick makes sense in the fact that when Xin does jump into that backline, when he gets all those resistance stripped away from him, he's going to run into a lot of issues. Also, one of the few junglers that can fight against Xin in the early game, being able to reduce his AD with that Q, with the chomp. So, makes a lot of sense. We'll see what their follow-up ban is, though. And okay.
Yeah,
right?
That's a comfort. That's a comfort ban, 100%. Very comfortable on the Warwick here for GGMB, so taking that one off the board, and we'll see what he can lock in here with his champion pool pinched.
Yeah, for DOV, their game plan is pretty clear as well. It's just, hey, we got to ban out Chrismeister's pool. We took out the Ziggs, we took out the Anivia, we're taking out the Karma and the Xerath as well. We don't want him to be to get any champion that could possibly set up siege and just wave clear easily.
Yeah, yep, I was just about to say there's one still left though.
Yep.
The wave clears pretty damn well and scales hard as well. Yurasan locking in for his mid laner. That Victor is the answer here to the champion pool pinch, and the Olaf on the other end. Hopefully there are no LS fans, because goodness gracious, our DOV's team full of a bunch of sinners. Everyone needs to be ahead in this game. Everyone needs gold, and we'll see what they can do with it. Fiora is picked up for Maroon blind, may I add.
That's... in shooters, that's what we call an ego peak right then and there, because you're just saying you don't have a champion in your pool that can counter me. And Rhea, well, Yui, well, he's gone to the Kennen as an answer. This is a very difficult composition to execute coming in from DOV. They all have to dive straight in, and you're trying to dive against a Thresh, against a Xin, and against a Victor. These champs are so hard to dive against, and then if you ever screw it up, you're getting the return damage of Victor and the Philios.
Yeah, things are definitely pretty rough, and Thresh is one of the few supports that can actually peel an Olaf, or at least an engaged tank that can peel Olaf. Not necessarily with a flay or the hook, but the lantern is beautiful. All you have to do is sit not necessarily away, but somewhere far out from the Olaf, and you can reposition your AD carry no problem, as long as that lantern is not warded. And if you don't have a pink ward ready to go, that lantern is probably going to be taken, zipped out, and Yurasan will be able to lay out the damage from there. Biggest question mark to me is the top lane. Kennen Fiora can be a pretty spicy matchup, pretty skill intensive with a riposte, with a slicing maelstrom. See what they can do there, but Fiora is not known for her full 5v5s. She is not known for her ability to team fight at all. She's known for a split push, her 1v1 ability to bully. And that's the opposite of what Maroon have built. They have built a team fight comp outside of the Fiora. And now you have a slicing maelstrom to work into, plus the Samira, plus the Leona Azir. I'm not sure that the original part of Dare's draft can match what DOV have picked up.
That's going to be definitely a thing of concern here for this Fiora pick, is how well are you able to get into these team fights? How effective are you going to be in the 5v5s? And I think for the most part, Maroon, even in a 4v5, they're going to be able to fight very, very well. And
Yeah.
That's going to put a lot of pressure on DOV to find those flank angles with this Kennen, because the moment Kennen leaves his lane, that Fiora is definitely knocking on your base.
Yeah, and Hullbreaker's now in the game. Yeah, she just gets to take the entire thing by herself. I mean, it's a silly item, sure, but if you just never want to approach your team and you want to tell everyone, hey, leave me on my 1v1 island, might as well build it. We'll see. This one has really caught my eye because I thought Maroon kind of just out-skilled and out-team fought DOV last game. This time, things are looking a little bit rough. You have to be able to peel the Olaf. You have to be able to peel away from the Azir, Leona, Engage, and the Samira follow-up. And if UE can play creatively on this Kennen, if he can find nice flank angles, Philios doesn't have much to work with in terms of self-ability to peel away from a Kennen. So really excited to see what DOV can do this game and maybe send us to a game 3.
Yeah, it's certainly high execution for both sides. With DOV, it's about being able to find the flank angles, but if they're able to consistently do that, then all of a sudden the onus is on Maroon to figure out how to deal with multiple angles of approach with these concave formations where their attention is just pulled all over the place. And then the script pretty much flips completely there. So Maroon, they've got questions to answer if DOV are able to answer theirs.
Yeah, lots of scaling options for both these teams as well. Maroon probably going to succeed in the later stages of this game. The precedent has been set, but we'll see if DOV can start rolling that snowball early and often here in game 2. Nightstar and I will be back in just a moment with UML action as we get ready for the Rift. Don't click out of that browser. We'll be back on the Rift in just a few seconds. Welcome everyone back to UML. We are on the Rift, geared up and ready to slam, and I'm hoping for a jam from DRE and DOV. Maroon taking game one. DOV definitely had some fight back here and there as they tried to wiggle their way to a win, not able to find it, but I think it's the same formula, some level 1 shenanigans, and it looks like a full-on 5-stack. Fish our friends about to be turned into food if he walks too far forward. Only going to drop a ward. That one will be seen.
Warding in full vision, but going back to some of these team comps, for the side of DOV, this composition is pretty much built on that one punch. So we have to really look for that first team fight to really set precedence on how the rest of this game will go. Because if DOV, if they are able to find either the Azir ult or the Kennen ult into the backline, Samira can easily follow up onto it and absolutely annihilate the backline in an instant. But if they survive, they're not going to have any sort of fun.
Yeah, definitely not able to sustain a lot of damage here for DOV. Interesting option from both AD carries, going to be going the cleanse. It is lethal tempo as well from Yurasan, and an exhaust for both their supports as well. Just trying to deny in potential, and a ghost is actually in for GGMB. Doesn't feel like he needs to flash this game, just the extra movement speed to make plays.
Certainly not a lot of things that he needs to necessarily flash over. Perhaps the gravity well is a cooldown he might need to be careful of, but when you do have Ragnarok available, that is perfectly fine to just run straight through. And the Ghost also allows him to be more active early on in the game because it does have that shorter cooldown. You can just run into these lanes with the Ghost and just try and pop those summoner cooldowns. So we'll have to look for GGMB to do that, or at least, at the very least, be able to answer these Zen ganks.
I'm hoping we get some early action here from GGMB. Obviously low in his first clear, but that is by design for the Olaf. Gets very, very quick with his pathing when he does get lower. Thank you, passive. And yeah, I'm really excited for some early game action between these two junglers, both really indexing pretty early for their power spikes. As Wave shoves out bot side, and invade coming in from Fish Our Friends. Does he find anything though other than an empty jungle? And I don't think he will, so we'll just have to walk out and lose a bit of tempo there on the Xin Zhao.
And more importantly here, Gunshin pathing upwards could still run into some issues.
Yeah, still could get ganked out. Here we go, finally looking at the mid lane. Fish Our Friends gonna be turned on now. The Olaf has arrived. Gravity well, perfect. Ghost gonna bring him forward though. The undertow lands and the soldiers, excuse me, go forward. It is first blood to DOV in the mid lane.
Fish Our Friends right in there. That's what we've come to expect from him, is just unrelenting aggression. However, this time around, GGMB was in the vicinity of that gank, so he's able to answer back, and that's a very important first blood for DOV. They get it onto the Azir, and it also means GGMB can kind of run wild a little bit longer.
Okay, cleanse used from Wolfie there. A little bit late there on the death sentence usage, but regardless, cleanse in the 2v2. Well done to Applause to be able to grab that one, no problem. And that's the issue when you're not ready with the Blade Whirl. We're going to have to blow a summoner here and there, but GGMB hanging around in the wing, seeing if he can impact this 2v2 is Yui. This 1v1 looked much better last time around when you were playing the Aurelia into the Ornn. This time it is Winter Zelos, and he wants to be able to fight back.
So far, it's looking great for Winter's Elo. He doesn't have to play the Ornn. He doesn't have to sit back and wait for the rest of his team to do stuff. This time, he has a little bit more autonomy. He gets to dictate the plays, dictate how this lane will go. And so far, he's looking to really body this Yordle in lane.
Yeah, and he's not necessarily doing it, but he does have some nice wave priority. GGMB showing up, but will not find a gank there. And overall, not a bad start here for DOV. They are up about 1,000 gold, 300 short of it. And That's just mostly due to the mid lane gank, CS differential there as well. And there you go. Thank you, observers, once again, highlighting the gold difference. And most of that does lie in the mid lane. I'm curious your thoughts, Nightstar, about how this game continues forward. Do they repeat in the mid lane? Do they go for Quizmeister again? Or do they look to snowball this Samira ahead, even minus the cleanse?
I think it comes down to try and open up this mid lane a little bit more, and then once you are able to do that, you can just move Genshin into the bot lane as well as the Olaf, and with that extra little bit of terrain control on the level 6 Azir, that's when you can really get the Samira popping.
Yeah, and I mean, you love to see Samira popping off, and you also hate to see her popping off, just getting wild rush resets, spinning across your entire team, doing a whole hell of a lot of stuff that you don't like to see when you're a squishy backliner like a Victor or an Aphelios. Root. We'll find Wolfie. Here's the Shurima shuffle in mid lane. Chris is in a lot of trouble having to flash away, but I don't think he can get out to safety in time. There is no lantern on the way. There is no passage out unless they don't make their pathing work. And GGMB using the ghost for nothing.
Well done there. They are able to burn the flash onto Quizmeister, but because Fish are friends, he understands what his job is. It's to keep these lanes afloat. It's not to finish those raptors. Right when he sees the first signs of that gank happening, he just drops all the raptors and runs straight mid. As a result, DOV, they just turn their attention onto the raptors. I believe they were able to snag him as well, but now he is in so much trouble. Yes, he's even on CS. Yes, he's still able to farm in this lane, but being able to farm in this lane doesn't mean anything once Fiora gets that first item down.
Winters does have a nice control ward to spot out GGMB, so we'll be safe for now. And that's all the pressure they needed in topside to allow Yui to push this one out. Get a recall, use his teleport if necessary, and at least relieve some of this anxiety that is built up for Yui in this 1v1, as he had been bullied out all game long. But of course, that ward spotting jungler topside means Dragon is always an option. Applause thinking about doing something a little bit crazy here. Death sentence just short of finding the mark on the Gunshin, so will not be able to find it. But here come the reinforcements. Kakeshi has mobility boots. He's running at the speed of light. Fisher friends having to flash out. Now it's disaster time, as Yurasan's going to be the first one turned on. Having to flash out for himself. Gunshin does have the wall if he wants it. Will not decide to go any further. Comet, lots of damage under the turret. Here they go, looking for it. Wolfie using the wild rush on the turret. Welcome to League of Samira. DOV pick it up and knock Yurasan down.
They tried to go for that dragon play when they saw that Olaf topside. However, they weren't able to account for the fact that Azir still doing so much damage. Now Winner's Elo, he's about to go down.
Solo kill on the precipice of happening, and it has happened. As maybe there's a return angle in mid lane, flash out of the Chaos Storm. Quizmeister earning a flash in the 1v1, but Winter's Elo. That gank may not have caused a kill, but the pressure had swung, and Yui takes full effect, knocking down some plates, grabbing a solo kill, and flexing his muscle on top lane.
Winner's Elo, he just gets a little bit too aggressive, thinking that Yui wouldn't go for the all-in, but all-in he does, and now Fish trying to pick up the pieces.
Yeah, this is easy. Just like Jenga, the tower has fallen, and Yui is no longer standing up there on top lane. Fish and friends, easy secure there. No flash for the cannon means there's no way out, and he's even going to push this wave out for Winters so he can get some plates of his own, but Yui does have TP. Unbeknownst, maybe to the jungle, so this wave will be secured. Exhaust in bot lane. Beautiful play is going to keep the support out. The flash forward. There's the cleanse immediately from Yursan. He's going low, but under the turret, they can't find it. And here comes Aphelios. Not able to find the Moonlight Vigil, but that's a nice lantern. Maybe looking for the 1v1. Here comes the Samira Inferno trigger. Lots of damage. Wolfie 1 HP, able to walk out, but so was Yursan and Applause. Close 2v2, but a little bit of over-aggression under the turret. DOV pay their price as they lose their support.
Yurasan, it looked like he was just a little bit disconnected from his supports. Winner's Elo, he's going to try and go a little bit aggressive on this Olaf, but there is backup.
Here comes Ragnarok over the Rift Herald. We're willing to fight over anything and everything, and GGMB is no longer anything as he falls. Here's a huge shuffle onto 2 members. Gunshin able to push 2 back and able to drop 1 immediately. Winter Zelo now using the ulti, the great effect, and this Fiora's popping off. Looking to find the kills, looking to find the damage. Yui 1 HP. Dash able to find it. Lunge onto a minion. Slicing Maelstrom is good. Riposte not able to. And Yui turns it around. Now on the run from Chris Meister. I don't think he can get away from this one. But what an effort by Yui to find it. The death ray cleans it up. Yura-san, red-white combo. Here comes the hook as well. That's it. Lane, beautiful 2-man play. Blade Whirl under the turret. Last time doesn't work out this time. They get 1 double kill the Samira with Wild Rush resets, and we've got fighting all over the Rift, baby.
The fight just doesn't stop up in the top side. That skirmish ends up being a 3-for-2, and now Fisher Friends, once again, he's trying to pick up the pieces.
Yeah, I think he's gonna get Wolfie once again. This guy, call him the janitor, clean up duty, shutdown secured.
Mops up the last remaining member in Wolfie in that bot side there, and bloodshed all across. What a smooth dive in that bottom lane, though, with this Leona Samira. This time around, they understand that they do have the damage to just burst it out, especially now that they do also have this mythic completed. But now, GGMB is,
What do you call that one, Nightstar?
He lived up to his namesake. That's probably what he's typing to his team.
GG, my bad. Didn't mean to invade the enemy jungle with literally 0 priority at all. And yeah, that one is not what you want to see. 0-2-2 on the Olaf. And talk as much as you want about a bridge to the late game or anything like that. That's not a way to do it, my friend. This is not the early game carry that we wanted.
Yeah, unfortunately, this Olaf pick, not as effective as, of course, this early game Maestro Fish Our Friends on his Xin pick. He's just really taking firm control, and that's helped out. But we had another hook.
Okay, hook lands, but so does Solar Flare. Here comes the engage. Wolfie's spinning. Inferno. Trigger's gonna find the kills, and here comes Teleport down to the bot side. They want the play. Shield bow gonna be popped. Wolfie spinning once again, and it's 2 circles, man. It's like a freaking Venn diagram down here as Winter Zelo falls to the mathematics.
Winter Zelo just cannot calculate all the formulas needed to win that situation. He ends up teleporting down there to die. And now DOV in firm control. Yes, the kill score is 10-8, but they're able to accumulate a 2k gold advantage. They have mythics starting to be completed a little bit earlier as well. You have the rocket belt, you have the shield bow, and now you have a hook.
Please stop. Don't go in on another one. You've learned your lesson, but Wolfie has not learned his. Applause going to be taken down in just a second. Wolfie flashing forward, able to find it with the flare. Can they find the enemy killing Kakashi? They grab that one. They trade it back. Now Yui on top side looking to make the 1v1 happen against Fish and Friends. Looking to return the trade here. Back with another shuriken as he takes him down. Bot lane, meanwhile, Winter's Elo has shown up, but not to much avail as Wolfie is free to walk out unscathed. He is 6-1 on this Samira. That Inferno trigger rips through DRE's health bars, and DOV popping off in game 2.
This time DOV, they're not waiting for the team fight phase to happen. They're just trying to take these skirmishes as actively as possible. You see the 2v2 constantly trying to look for another fight. And for the side of DRE, they got, when you're letting them kind of scale up, that's when the Philios and the Victor do settle in, become very comfortable. But in this high tempo, high action sort of start here, it does make things a little bit hectic. And teamfight champs, they don't do well when there's a lot of things going on around them.
Yeah, they need a controlled environment. They need the front line in front of them. But your front line now isn't a front line. You have a 1-3 Thresh. You no longer have an Ornn. You have a Fiora. The greatest front line you have is the Xin Zhao, but Fish and Friends is on cleanup duty. His teammates die before he can even join the fight. And really rough stuff here in bot lane so far. Definitely not the way things went early in game 1. But now it's Yurasan really in some trouble. Does not have his mythic yet. Already Wolfie looking at 2 items here in just a few hundred gold. And the rest of the members are basically just as fed. Stopwatch for Yui and top side. Wolfie needs to finish his second. And Drakes are theirs as well. So Nightstar, there's not really much to give to DRE here other than their ability to front to back. But we have yet to see it in game 2 as now they're looking
on the
for
chase
once again. Flash out. Yurasan. There's a solar flare. Under the turret they go. Flash away from Kakashi. Nice Blade World to deny the death sentence in return. Aggression. They lose the flash there out of the Leona.
And you can see the change in approach here from Applause. Before he was using the Flay to make sure the Leona wasn't able to get in, but now he's going to flash forward. Good hook!
Okay, they won it. Wolfie's going to be exhausted. Applause looking to do the same. He's exhausted as well. Wolfie going
coming in from behind.
Once again, Knockup's going to interrupt the Inferno trigger. Kick back.
What a shuffle!
A shuffle. 2-man under the turret. They'll be able to trade it back onto Kakashi once again, but Applause has to run. And Gunshin is on the chase. The Emperor has found his mark and cut down to size. 1-4 on this Thresh, but it is 6-2 on the Samira, and it is DOV finding their mark and making things happen.
Gunshin impact right down in that bot lane, using that teleport to perfect effect, finds the 2-man sweep and gets the chase at the very end as well. Before we went into that team fight, I really wanted to talk about the change in approach coming in from Applause in this lane phase, but now this bot lane is just so far ahead. It's just sucking up so much extra resources from Maroon that it does leave them exposed to a very easy turnaround, such as that Azir teleport.
Yeah, and Gunshin does a phenomenal job with his ulti, making sure no one can get out, only Applause, but then he finishes off the kill with a flash of his own. Really good stuff. Surprised, honestly, that this bot lane turret hasn't been dropped, whether that's by design here from Wolfie and Kakashi to make sure this 2v2 is extended for as long as possible, or they just haven't had the time to do it. Either way, Yurasan no longer interested in taking that bot lane. He is headed mid lane to get some CS that he has been so starved of. Under mid lane turret, though, the ulti is going to be used. Return damage onto Fish and Friends. Very low is this Azir. We'll have to back up for now. Death Ray almost killing off the mark, but GGMB, meanwhile, has the Rift Herald, and they'll be here to finish off. And finally, this bot turret will fall.
Solo gold into the hands of this Samira. Samira now completed 2 items. When it comes to that next team fight, she is definitely set up to not just succeed, but run away with the team fight. She's pretty much in 1v5 territory as long as the start of the fight goes well from the rest of her teammates. And Dragon coming up in 70 seconds. That's the big talking point, because DRE, they want to contest this. They don't just want to gift this 3rd Dragon over. So now they're going to try and find a pick somewhere.
Yeah, they're going to try to find it in the enemy jungle, but not able to find it. Here comes Yui in the flank with a huge slicing maelstrom flash. Yurasan going low, but he able to stay alive for now. Applause is the first one to fall. Fish and Friends not much longer for the world as well. Solar Flare's not going to be able to find the kill, but Kakashi's return angle. It is 1-for-1. Both supports, but Wolf is in the middle of everyone. He spins with the Inferno trigger and rips through Dare Maroon as DOV's 80 carry goes wild.
He just collects each and every one of their dead bodies on the side of DRE. Dare Maroon put into the trash can by Wolfie. And that's just the thing we were talking about. If you're being pulled apart here when it comes to your attention, you don't know where to focus, who to focus, then you end up over indexing your cooldowns into certain targets like the cannon, like this Azir, and that leaves you completely exposed for Samira to spin all over you.
That was gorgeous from Wolfie on this Samira. 3-man ulti, 3-man reset with a wild rush, and all the time he's spinning, doing a whole hell of a lot of damage. And that is why you pick this champion. When you can snowball your early game, when you can take aggressive 2v2s, this is the power of the Samira in the later stages. Even working towards the LDR to make sure that tanky members will fall eventually as well. Excellent stuff here from DOV's AD carry. And Winters, man, he's been caught out once again. Challenging, but not for very long. Wolfie's on a rampage.
Wolfie absolutely unstoppable at the moment here. They're even going to be able to get this red buff. Fish, our friends, has no right to peek his head towards this half of the jungle. And you even, knowing that the jungler is bot side, looking for invade up top side, clear out some vision himself. He knows that at best it's just going to be a 1v1 situation. And it would be into a Victor who he can just walk away from.
Yeah, looking to make something happen here. A sentence just short there, but there's his ear passive to make sure no minions can cross this mark, as it is DOV with complete priority over this map for now. Mythics, yes, are all completed from DRE, but they're all on one item. Look at the other end of the board. Wolfie's got 3. Yui's got 2. Gunshin's got 2. They are just so far behind at this point. Any fight just looks way too hard to take, and they got to start being creative, finding angles out of Fog of War, finding numbers advantages in fights, but I'm not sure they even have access to their jungle to make those creative angles at this point.
Big point is the fact that even if they have the thought that, all right, we need to be able to find creative angles to generate picks. Well, you can't get those angles, and now, well, could just lose their jungler.
Looking for an angle here. Moonlight Vigil doesn't do too
just
much,
be
but
the
here
end of
comes
the game.
Wolfie again, but he's going to be shut down. It's a massive paycheck on over to this Aphelios. GGMB on the run, roots in. Here comes Winter Zelo. He's going to finish kill number 1. Entrance going to be used, but here comes Gunshin away, trying to run out. Flash, but it doesn't matter. Chris Binder finds him over the wall. This may be the turning fight for DRE. Yui's going to look to return the favor here onto the enemy top laner, but Winter's Elo is no easy kill. He shuts down Yui. He shuts down Gunshin, and he out of the fight now as DRE are going to look to start up this Baron.
Actually bold enough to start the Baron here. 11 seconds on this Olaf pick. They don't have a great target that can tank this Baron buff. Winter Elo, he has to walk away. I don't think they can complete this unless Averson does start tanking. He's going to try and do it. And now reinforcements are coming, but this could go down to the wire. We might see a contest still.
Okay, 5,000, 4,000 now on the Baron. Yurson does have red-white. Chakrams do a lot of damage. Wolfie's not able to get here in time. And GGMP no longer either. But here comes the teleport. There might be a fight. Yui doesn't have flash, but for a few seconds, Protobelt, they're going to sacrifice their jungle in order to get away. But are they going to be able to fully retreat? Chris Miser looking to slow them down over the wall. Wolfie looking forward with that wild rush on the Gromp. Has a fully stacked passive, but will not be able to find it. Simply spinning to clear out the wave. 4 members survive the Baron, but DOV with a numbers advantage look to take down this top tier 2 in trade.
Taking advantage of that recall timer from DOV, they're able to get that 4th turret on the board. And for DRE, of course, they've really struggled to get early towers, and yet again, especially now that they are behind, we're going to see that amplified even more. And it looks like Winter Elo, he's going to get caught out as well.
Yeah, stunned up. There's the Undertale Lantern. Nice, but the flash forward, the flay, and applause is going to be the sacrificial thresh once again. Ragnarok used, plus the slicing maelstrom. Applause is the only one to die. But that's -1 on the Baron count once again, Nightstar. That is only 3 now remaining with the Baron as we run into a quick pause before the next dragon.
And that's really just Winter Zelo just making a big mistake, as Chris Meister almost caught out there. Does throw down the ult. It almost gets a trade kill. Gunshin will be able to get out of range of the ultimate, but that was the narrow some margins.
Yeah, he has to return back to this Drake pit, and he doesn't have teleport. This quick interrupt you see on your screen is because of the pause we had earlier, so no worries about that one. Hopefully I'm not the only one looking at a pause.
Yeah.
This one? Okay, there we go. We're back. As this dragon is pretty important at this point. Gunshin, again, going to have to walk back, but he has no teleport. And this sole point for DOV.
And right now, this gold gap, while it shows it's 5k, it's actually a lot more when it comes to the important members, because the only person with a gold advantage is Fish, our friends. But now, enough fight.
Okay, they're looking for the Zenith Blade onto Fish or Friends. He's using the Crescent Guard to keep himself alive. Moonlight Vigil going to be thrown as well. Massive damage with the Infernum over multiple members. Gordrick going to keep him alive. This is DRE turning things around at the Dragon fight. It is now top laner looking for the 1v1. Yui looking against Chris. He gets a shutdown onto the Victor. He's no longer available for the fight.
Really low though.
Urasan is still at full HP. Death Sentence going to not be able for a few more seconds, but it is soul secured. Fish or Friends not able to get in the pit, and DRE lose out on Mountain Soul. Now looking for the chase onto Urasan. Lantern going to be there just to provide the safety to get back. DOV somehow win out and get their soul. That is what they came for. And now a Death Brush going to be set up. Fish or Friends walking straight in, but that's not where you want to be. The Olaf is unstoppable with a Ragnarok. Urasan looking to be able to do the damage. Gale force him forward, but here comes the Slicing Maelstrom, able to Dan him back. Applause using the play, but Wolfie's going forward with a Wild Rush. Double kill on over to Yui. One more picked up by Wolfie, and DOV wipe every member from Dare Maroon off the map once again.
DOV just run away with it. Wolfie survives that dragon burst at the start of that fight, and by the narrowest of margins, that just changes the whole fight dynamic. Without being able to burst down that Samira, they invest so many cooldowns as well. Mountain Soul obtained by DOV, it helps out their composition quite a bit, but it's not the game ender because of the fact that you have so much persistent DPS threat from the Victor, from this Aphelios, that it can shred through a Mountain Soul.
And Fish or Friends is staying alive for so long in these team fights with the Gore Drinker, with the Sterix Gauge, and even the Thresh Lantern on top, just to provide the extra bit of shielding. It is so hard to fully kill off this, the Jin Zhao with a Crescent Guard, and we are not able to do damage from range. You have to go melee, and the only one that does that is GGMB, and he's not fed at all. He's only got 2 items, so really massive stuff for Fish or Friends. But I cannot overstate that DOV have complete and utter control of this game. They have the gold lead, they have turret lead, they have Mountain Soul. Any full-on 5v5 is probably there. Solar Flare gonna go forward, and that is a 3-tap from Wolfie. Tap, tap, tap-a-roo, and goodbye, Chris, as the siege is on for DOV.
Can't just walk up like that to a Samira that's on 4 items. And he pays the ultimate price, and this could just be the end of the game.
Okay, massive play. Wolfie able to use a Wild Rush to escape. Winter Zelo at 1 HP as well. Yui teleported in, still has that Slicing Maelstrom. Wave is not cleared out in time, though. That is Inhibitor Turret. Number 1 going down. Inhibitor Turret now. Inhibitor fallen. It is mid lane cracked open here for DOV Blades. They will now pull away as a 5-man squad, not looking to pressure anymore, even though Chris is dead for 7 more seconds. They will simply rotate on over to the spot side and even set up a Death Brush. That surely is a one-shot for anyone that walks in. Applause probably the target here if he looks in the wrong direction.
On the hunt, they're going to look for this.
Oh,
this could just be the dual lane dead.
Oh man, it's on a run and it's on a wild goose chase now. Applause uses the blast cone. No, not able to find it. Over the wall with 1 HP he goes. Using the lantern just to make sure he doesn't tick down to any DOT. And this is not looking good for DRE. Blast cone gonna be popped. Flay just to survive, but Yui's on a rampage. And it's only to take time away as Urasan is gonna be able to get his recall. Sneaky maneuvers here to get out. But it's Fish and Friends that are not able to do the same. Wolfie's dominating 17-3-5 on this Samira. Every bullet goes straight to the brain as DOV Blades have perfect timing on this Baron.
just escort themselves straight up to that top lane, find those kills, and what do you know? There's the Baron that spawned, so they just walk straight over there to finish that off as well. They're now at a 10k gold lead. Remember, when it comes to gold on the laners, it's a lot more because of the fact that, well, there is a 1500 gold lead for the Xin, but at this point in the game, the Xin just pretty much has the same effectiveness when it comes to assassinating backline targets as this Olaf. They're kind of just meatballs running at you, trying to buy as many cooldowns as possible. So now it really just comes down to DOV. How quickly can they finish this game off with this Baron buff? Because now the wave clear on the Victor, it's not enough against the Baron minions.
Yeah, and only 2 items as well. Oblivion Orb to stop some of the healing. Meanwhile, Wolfie building even more healing. Probably headed towards something like the Spirit Visage.
Sure.
Winter's Elo going to be spotted out by that sweeper. But all members here from DRE are grouped up. Here comes the Shirelias as they're looking for the engage. Maybe just to clear out the wave. Instead, they will stop the Baron Siege in the bot lane. But that flare alone chunks out this Jin Zhao as it's time to hold the base here for DRE and for DOV. They just want to end this one. Only one to go. Here comes a Solar Flare with a beautiful shuffle, and Urasani is immediately deleted. This Ophelios 200 tears rolling down his face now as Applause is chopped to pieces. And DOV soar as they take down Dare Maroon in style in Game 2. And baby, do you like League of Legends? Because we're going to Game 3.
There's no applause, only a curtain call here as they'll go in for a celebratory fountain dive. They lose 2, but they get the game. And I mean, you don't get to rotate like that. Urasan, you're gone.
Yeah, easy stuff there in the end. But honestly, great activity from DOV Blades in this early game. Getting everything they wanted. Topside 1v1 solo kill for Yui as well. The Samira, though, is obviously the highlight. Massive performance from Wolfie. Even though he had a pretty good game on the Vayne, this one was 10 times anything that I could have expected.
Instead of just saying, all right, go carry us, Wolfie, on the Vayne, and just empowering, giving him as much move speed as possible, instead, they created this composition that wasn't built to throw cooldowns onto the AD carry, but rather burn the cooldowns on the enemy team, so then the AD carry can just run rampant, and that's exactly what happened. They got great Kennen ults, great Azir ults as well, that created the space and the time for the Samira to run absolutely rampant.
Yeah, and just rampage over the entire enemy team. Some of those Wild Rush Reset Inferno Trigger combos, man, that is chills down my spine and sweat under my armpits because I don't want to have to deal with that ever. Don't want to have to be in Dare Maroon's shoes right now, as they have now dropped their perfect series potential. It is now headed to a Game 3 to decide everything. It has turned into a best of 1. Nightstar and I will be right back with our Game 3 draft. Don't go anywhere as we find out who wins between the 2 undefeated teams. Welcome back, everyone, to UML. DOV Blades and Maroon. We've got a series. It's tied up 1-1, and these two teams tied up at the top of the table. Both undefeated, looking to break the deadlock. Man, things get spicy in game threes. We've already had 2 spicy games. I'm not sure how it gets any hotter.
One team's O has got to go here, and it comes down to the last game, getting all our reps in. As Dare has mentioned in the chat, just trying to get maximum stage experience here and starting things off here. Bans remain pretty similar to the previous game.
Yeah, pretty similar. Ziggs banned out, no surprise. Samira still left open. Pretty surprising to see. Whether that one will be picked so early again, I don't know. Probably a different response this time around. But regardless, B1, strongest pick of the series, unless you want to argue with me about R5. Azir, not the strongest champion. So, sure. I mean, yeah, it's comfort pick from Gunshin. So, I guess they just want to lock in their mid lane and give Maroon solo lane, double solo lane counter pick. That is their move in draft.
I think really it's for DOV, they've identified Chris Meister might want that Azir, and they're just scared of it. So, fair play for DOV. It does mean that they've already kind of shown their hand already, and for the side of their Maroon, they get the option to go ahead and answer straight away, and they've done so with the Veigar pick.
Yeah, they're just going to pick up the Veigar. Can't Shurima shuffle your way through a Veigar cage. Can't actually get there in the first place. So good stuff there. Lots of CC as well on top of the Leona pick. So definitely lots of lockdown here for Maroon. Waiting to see what kind of damage options come through. Veigar, of course, one of the biggest scalers in the game. Jarvan is selected here for GGMB, going aggressive in the jungle once again, and pair that with a Galio. That is a dangerous duo. You are locked in the cage and you are knocked up and you're not going anywhere.
DOV, they've liked what they drafted in game number 2, just going, hey, we had a one punch kind of comp, wombo combo, bounce house style. Let's double down on that. It's going to be Jarvan escorting the Galio and probably setting it all up for Gunshin to swoop in with that shuffle. And for Maroon, their adjustments, well, to be fair, Veigar, he's probably just doomed every single fight. So let's get an 80 carry that might not be as stuck in these positioning battles.
Yeah, at least you got a rocket jump, right? There's some sort of safety. Plus the Buster Shot, I guess, could help you survive maybe a little bit. But Tristana is certainly an option here for the disengage effort. Also pretty good with Leona as well in the 2v2. Jump in, extra damage from Leona pretty much secures the one tap. At least burning summoners there in the bot lane. And hey, the aggressive bot lanes have worked out, so might as well go back for it. And Samira taken off the board. Speaking of those aggressive bot lanes, no more of that spinning to win garbage. Get it out. Maroon don't want to see it.
Taking out the Samira does remove a lot of the wombo potential here. However, when it comes to perhaps this top lane, we could see something like a Rumble that could really supplement the rest of this comp. Might be a little bit too much magic damage, but it would be fun to watch. The Kennen also serves in a very similar vein in that regard, and Vayne will be the band to follow the Samira, taking away both champions Wolfie has played in this series.
Interesting to see Ornn banned out as well. Actually, an interaction not many people know about with the Jarvan ultimate. You actually searing charge your way into the side of the Jarvan cage. It breaks open halfway so everyone can funnel out. So smart actually from DOV to ban that one. Trundle as well, solid jungle pick. And well, not so solid jungle pick. Nunu, not all too common, going to be picked up here for Maroon as they quite literally want to start snowballing this game.
And it kind of makes sense that a pick like Nunu has the ability to get picked at this point in the draft because of the fact that DOV have gone for the Jarvan. Not one of S tier picks, and when you kind of go down that list, it opens up other champions that are further down the list as well. So they've gone ahead, locked themselves in a new. Also packs a lot of early game power when it comes to trying to get into these lanes, put out fires if there are fires, or snowball lanes if they are very volatile and can really get advantages.
And we know Fish, our friends, is completely willing to do that. Just sit into a lane, really index, and making sure a laner is okay. Kakashi will be locking in here for the top lane, and he has selected Gnar for DOV as our final pick. It is full on one-shot wombo combo. Is it as simple as it gets? You go into the Cataclysm, and then everyone dies. It is literally a two-step process. There is not much to it. Maroon, a little more complicated. You have to disengage. You have to play around the Veigar, or, speaking of complicated things, make it less complicated. Play a rock, press R, and yeah, you go in your own terms. That works too.
Yeah, this setup from Maroon is basically, hey, you jump in on us with your Cataclysm and throw down a heroic entrance. Well, I'm just going to ult in place after that CC is gone, and then the Malphite's coming in, and are we trapped with you, or are you trapped with us? That's basically the idea.
I love this from Maroon. They're like, we could play something really unique and maybe play some kite back and offer some enchanter appeal, or
double down.
Just go in harder. They choose the later option, and they pick Malphite. Yeah, I mean, it's a good matchup in Gnar as well. Pretty solid there in the top lane, and rock solid option for Maroon. These fights are going to be chaotic, man. It puts a smile on my face because when two teams want to run at each other, things get hectic, and I love some hectic 5v5s.
And I think the true winner here is just going to be the Philios, because everyone's mosh pitting forward, and the Philios, if he gets Infernum in some of these fights, he's just dealing infinite amounts of damage and it's just too easy. Whereas on the flip side, the setup could be there for Urasan, right? If he gets the explosive charge down, he could definitely get a lot of damage, AoE damage in these fights. It's going to take a little bit more careful calculations coming in from him, as the calculations are starting to overwhelm the Matrix as well.
They've infested the cybernetics that we use here as our advanced technology. Nightstar is back. Final thoughts here before we get ready for our final game, Nightstar. Obviously, these two teams want to duke it out and just want to go head-to-head at every Drake, at every Baron. I gotta put you on the hot spot. Who's winning our final game? Who's staying undefeated and who's not?
So far, while Maroon have played very carefully in these lanes, I just love the fact that DOV are just looking to get active early and often. So with how well they coordinate themselves, I do have to give the slight edge to DOV going into this last game.
All right, well, they picked Ophelia, so you already know my vote was going there. That was no problem at all. DOV, you heard it here, are going to win this series 2-1, but who knows? Maybe Maroon can prove us wrong. Obviously, people in chat think we are wrong as well. Only time will tell, though. In about just a couple minutes, we'll be back on the Rift, ready for Game 3. Don't go anywhere here at UML. Welcome everyone to Game 3 between DOV Blades and Dare Maroon. These two teams have gone back and forth all night, but now is the deciding factor. Game 3, the final one of the evening here in UML, and boy oh boy am I excited to see who comes out on top and keeps their undefeated record.
2-3-0 teams coming into this. Only one will keep that 3-0 or that 0 in that last column. The other one, well, we're gonna go to 3-1. So far, no level 1 shenanigans, even though the side of DOE, they are definitely prepped for it. And you know what? I like teams that do this. I like teams that take the initiative and say, hey, if they decide to invade us, we are more than prepared for it. But for the most part, this action should start up pretty early, even without the level 1.
Yeah, even without level 1, I would imagine that if not bot lane, probably mid lane is going to get pretty spicy. Both these junglers want to get involved. Both of them very good at level 2 ganks as well. So I'm very interested to see where these junglers head immediately after their buffs are spawned and readied. And that starts right about now. Now, Wolfie is hitting red buff for some reason. I'm not exactly sure why, but now they know they have not leashed because DRE's bot lane is sitting in this brush waiting for them to come in.
Really was just to see if they could bait out some of the timing windows, fake leash that one there, try and perhaps throw off the knowledge on Fish, our friends, because we know he's been super good at trying to get involved at level 3 and on this new play. Very possible to get involved at level 3 once you have all your abilities up.
Yeah, extremely easy. Same thing with a Jarvan, even at level 2, but for now, both of them will just be headed towards the same side of the rift. Both going towards this bot lane, and the push should always go to the Tristana in these early levels. The E passive makes it honestly hard to hold a freeze and not just shove naturally, but even with the bomb, you can earn pretty easy priority. So this crab probably belongs to Fish, our friends, and turn that crab straight into food.
Will be, looks like both junglers ready to get involved in this bot side, and I think it really just comes down to if GGMB wants to try and make a gank happen. He will start pathing. Oh, okay, that's some pretty good damage. Might be a little bit too far.
Yeah, Applause has gone pretty far up. Shouldn't be able to kill him off here. Is hard to take down the layout with Aftershock, but Urson getting caught out there with a nice taunt into the Justice Sponge combo. Here comes the Nunu. That snowball is pretty cool looking, but Urson not able to jump in there. Should be no problem for Wolfie to just take that one on the noggin and heal up in time.
Still not a bad chip of damage, unfortunately though. Severum online, and it will now be Fisher Friends making a stroll straight up river.
Yeah, thinking about doing something there in the mid lane, but with some nice moves there from Genshin, we'll be able to evade that play, so no worries. Second crab now on the contest. Here comes the flag and drag, and the Fish, our friends, be careful. Flash Q smite is 100% HP. Blabber, you have infested North America, and Fish, our friends, take a page straight out of his book, but this time it pays off. Now top lane 2v2. Flag and drag onto the Malphite, excuse me, as Winter's elo is getting low, about 3rd HP, but this Gnar is even lower. Mega coming in just a second. Now bot lane 2v2 popping off. Taunt's gonna land. Here comes a rocket jump.
Reset.
First blood to Urasan. Now jumping away. Exhaust doesn't do anything for a Tristana that's just simply out of range. And here comes a snowball top side. GGMB goes back in. Double kill, flag and drag. Make it look cool as you knock them both down. DOV get 2 in return.
I don't know what's going on, Necron.
Oh,
teleport straight back. He's going to try and run down Yui here. Yui still has flash, of course, though, so he'll actually have to be forced to burn it, which makes a lot of sense. But wow, Fish Our Friends trying to get aggressive up top side. That's the last lane I would say you want to get active in, but you can also see that they're not super coordinated on that gank as well, because Fish Our Friends went onto the Jarvan and Winter's Elo. He was looking to put damage down onto Yui, so because of the discoordination in where the damage was going, it actually plays a big factor on the reason why they get 2-0'd in that top side rather than getting the 1-0 or the 2-0.
GGMB not living up to his name this game. He's instead carrying this squad to an early victory, as he is 2-0-0 on this drive and making much more positive impact here than DRE's jungler has done so far. Here comes Mega. Top lane hopping forward, but without the ulti to slam him into the wall, the Rock just simply walks away. No issues there for Winter's Elo, as he'll be able to sustain this with all the sustain that he does have. Corrupting and Biscuits chugging those. Bot lane, this Galio is just dead. Flash is available. Flash over the wall. He's 1 HP.
Oh no.
Here comes the Tristana jumping over the wall, but that's not where you want to go, my friend. Now fights in the top lane, not in the bot lane, and Winter's Elo is going to get solo killed to boot. Root's going to find the mark. Aphelios doing the damage. Final auto going to be passed on over to Wolfie to grab the kill, and DOV tear apart Dare Maroon as they fall to pieces.
There, Maroon. They tried to make the gank happen in the bot lane, and honestly, it looked very, very good. But unfortunately, Urasan thought he could finish off the kill, and right when he jumps over the wall, he gets a Jarvan to the face. GGMB in perfect position to answer, but now Urasan, he's just returned, and he'll get a Wolfie.
Just splats on Wolfie for the kill. Good stuff there. GGMB able to pick up first Drake, so at least they get something, but Wolfie a little too far out for his britches. Will go down for the second time. Now Urasan to 1-0. Quick display of his talent in the Malphite impersonation in bot lane. DOV Blades do have a kill lead. They have a gold lead and a Drake lead, but DRE by no means are out of this game. They certainly have a fine state for their bot lane, and mid lane just about even. You're down about a wave. You have a Veigar who's scaling up, no issue.
The only real issue here right now is how are they going to get Winter's Elo out of Elo hell? Because Yui is so strong right now, has the 1 kill. The lane state's really bad as well. And it doesn't ever get better because you are the Bomby Cinder top laner. You are naturally just going to shove out, and onus is going to really just be on Yui to dictate everything that happens top side.
Oh, nice play mid lane. Zenith
Everyone's
to
here.
follow. Veigar Cage doesn't find it. Flash burned. Well done. They get the 5-minute cooldown, only 4. A little bit of damage in return. Here's GGMB over the wall, thinking about going in with that Flag and Drag Cataclysm combo. Won't be able to finish it off, and instead it's Wolfie and Kakeshi looking to counter jungle away a blue buff of their own, but Wolfie's getting jumped on with this Tristana. It's not one that you win. Rocket jump reset, and Urasan's got kill number 1. Now hopping away from kill number 2. Buster shot to safety, but here comes the Azir over the wall.
Flash.
The Emperor looking to take him down and make it look good in the process. Urasan under his turret, using the potions, keeping himself alive for a little bit longer. Galio Q, the Windsor War, will not find the mark, and Urasan escapes with single-digit HP. Oh, or does he? Here comes the re-engage angle. Taunt, that's not where you want to be, though. Applause is very low. Final auto. Gunshin finds the kill in the end. That was a blunder from Dare Maroon's support.
Big blunder there, and now they're going to try and turn their attention onto the blue buff, but now that Fish Our Friends has walked over, he's definitely got the stronger smite secure here, so we'll be perfectly fine recovering this blue buff, and it doesn't look like he's actually going to gift it over to Chrismeister either, so unfortunate for the mid laner, but DOV in great position, as it was definitely a messy situation bot side, and so far Urasan getting the better of Wolfie in this 2v2 this time around.
Whoops, now it's a little bit awkward. Here comes the scene to play
Hello?
again. The gonna force the stun onto Kakashi. Wolfie going low. Cleanse used to avoid the ignite, but he's one shot. Urasan finding the kill. Here comes your wombo. Here comes your combo. Applause is blown up in front of your eyes like a magic trick. The man disappears, and Kakashi cannot use the Justice Sponge to escape, but Urasan able to do it with the rocket jump instead. Cage to avoid. Flash away from the arcane comet, and Fish and friends going low, but not able to go down just quite yet. Flag thrown out, but drag not available means DRE escape with a 1-0.
And what a smooth dancing shoes they have on their squad, dodging out on so many life-threatening abilities there. As Urasan gets out skin of his teeth, GGMB unable to find that angle to finish it off, and Wolfie!
You like playing League of Legends, my friend? Cause that ain't League of Legends. That's a gray screen simulator. Good luck.
However, they do burn a lot of cooldowns on that one, which means that Yui is able to secure Crab and walk off without having to think about using that flash. And it really is just there's motto. Let Fish Are Friends just continue to visit these lanes, and he's been visiting the lanes. Not only that, he's been able to keep up in farm this time around. So while he doesn't have necessarily the kill gold that GGMB does, at the very least, he is keeping up at EXP, which hasn't been the case in the previous games.
Honestly, I'm just worried about Wolfie's mental health. I just need to make sure he's doing all right, because 1-5-2 getting 3-manned in mid lane under your tier 1, that's what makes you cry at night, man. I'm an 80 carry main, and that stuff is painful.
Imagine playing 80 carry in 2021.
Yeah, tell that to Wolfie. Tell that to Wolfie. Just play a better role, Forehead. Why are you playing 80 carry? Just don't get ultied. Come on, easy.
Yeah. And Aphelios definitely one of those champs where if you don't draft that support to help peel for him, he looks exactly like that. He's pretty much dead on arrival. Every time he peeks his head out to try and do something, he immediately just gets matumboed.
Big old red target on his back. His first turret finally will fall here. Seems kind of slow paced for the way this game has been going, but it's Yui grabbing that one. Flag and Dragon to find the knock-up onto Fish Are Friends. Cataclysm used. There's no flash away. There's not an exit. Here comes the big nuke. GGMB down to about half HP, but he's going to not fall as he goes unstoppable. GGMB at about 1 now. Flashing forward is Winters, but the Gale Force is able to keep him alive. Excuse me, it's the Gore Drinker. It's the Bruiser item, not the 80 carry. Tell you, ADCs could not do that. Now they're looking for the re-engage in mid lane. Slapped right back where you came from, but applause us to burn his flash to get away from the Galio taunt. And here comes Rift Herald to boot. They'll look down to knock down tower number 2. Oh, they're going in for the engage instead. Applause at 1 HP. Double kill just like that to the Azir, and the Emperor has arrived. DOV get 2 more, and Aphelios is still pushing bot side.
DOV get everything here, as it looks like Fish Are Friends wants to try and clear out this wave. If he ends up overstaying, though, on that next wave, they could definitely try and get more kills. But now turret plate has fallen, and I mean, Aphelios, while he's been mostly put down when it comes to just getting murdered over and over again, you look at the CS differential, he has a 40 CS advantage, 1 level lead, and he just got a whole lot of plate gold as well. So it looks bad in the KDA, but gold-wise, he feels more than comfortable. Look, he even has a gold lead against a 4-2-1 Tristana.
This is the calculations we were talking about in K1, or Game 2, excuse me, coming to fruition. You got to do the math. You got to make sure that the play you are making is worth it on the other end. And even though, yeah, you bullied him a lot, you can't let him free farm in the bot lane. Not only is Wolfie now in a lead, It is also a 4-0-1 Azir, a 6-1-4 Jarvan, who's going to take everyone into the pit, survive with a Gore Drinker, and make sure his HP bar is fine. DOV, really good stuff here in the beginning stages of Game 3 as we crest 15 minutes now into the mid game, where objectives become the #1 priority, and both these teams tied at 1 dragon apiece, looking at Infernal Soul in game number 3.
Infernal Soul on the table, and with how much damage is built, and with how much one-punch potential there is, kind of, on both sides, that just makes these team fights all the more explosive. So will be Yurasan possibly in trouble. They're going to look to give chase, but
should have rocket jump if I'm not mistaken. Massive damage. What? Okay, 200 years has come to play. And
play 80 carry at season 11. Let's go.
Let's go, baby. Aphelios is back. Flag and drag in the mid lane as well. Gonna find Fisher Friends using the Q, using the consume, but not able to consume anymore as he is dead. You can't chomp on anything when your jaws are snapped in half. And now Chase Miser has to flash away, but I'm pretty sure they got this one on lock. Cataclysm keeps him in the pit, and the baby Cage makes him rage. Shuffle over the wall onto Applause, make sure he goes down to the end as well. It is picked up by Yui as he goes on a killing spree, and DOV are here to announce themselves as the #1 team.
And DOV, they are running away with this game. They've got a 9,000 gold lead. You look at the gold differentials, like, there's such a stark difference. Top lane, 4,000 gold advantage, 2.5k in the jungle, 2k in the mid lane. You've got just 1,000 gold advantage in that bot side, but that's still 1,000 gold when he's just been floundering for the most part this game. These solo lanes, this top half of the map is just so strong, and the Philios is indeed relevant.
Yeah, absolutely. Even going Collector, interestingly enough. Wolfie doing some dark technology there with the early lethality points. But you're into a Malphite Nunu Leona. So, yeah, that is certainly an option. Sure, have fun, I guess, when the enemy and the rest of your team is super fed. But guess what, my friend? You're still playing 80 carry, and they're coming after you once again. It's a nice peel, but flashing over the wall. But yeah, you're not getting out of this one. Sayonara, sucker, as it's Wolfie to fall down for the 6th time. Kakashi's going to follow. They find the return angle, but here comes Jarvan into the rest of the fight with the Cataclysm, using the Gore Drinker, keeping himself alive. Shuffle only going to find one. It's only in Winter's Elo. He sure will fall, but he double kill on over to Yui as he advances to 5-0. Applause looking to re-engage, but only to die as he'll be burned down to the grave by the Emperor once again. Unstoppable. 5-0-5 and a snowball to safety for Fish and Friends. Would get a little bit of health back, but they are chasing him down.
And that ends up being a 2-for-2 trade, soon to be 2-for-3. GGMB says, hey, you're able to take a lot of these camps. Well, I'm up here to try and take your life. Should get a flank. There we go. He's marked his territory.
Dropped it on his head, and adieu from the jungle, my friend. 2-5-3 for Fish Are Friends. And yeah, hoping and wishing he played the Nami this game. Maybe he wouldn't be turned into food so often, but DOV really running over this game. I mean, there's not much to say other than they're just clapping the heck out of Maroon in this final game. 10,000 gold is the difference between these two teams. Now a dragon advantage for DOV as well. Pretty sure they're going to grab this Rift Herald to boot, and I'm just not sure what DOV can do when they just get collapsed on like this, and GGMB is all over the Rift.
They're starting to run out of options here, and I mean, Veigar does scale incredibly well. The Tristana is also scaled relatively well here, and however, you look at Wolfie, he's going to be building this lethality build, which has started to come up here just because of the lethality changes to his kits. He gets a little bit more lethality now per point. Per point put into that skill. So he's going to offer a lot of one-punch threat himself. So on top of all else, and they're going to try and chase for this pickoff on Yui. He is more than tanky enough to try and make a run for it, though.
Flash into the event horizon, and they're using
Wait,
everything
Galio?
to kill this guy. Kakashi shows up, but to what success? Just a sponge back in. He'll survive thanks to Aftershock. Pretty hard to kill the Galio in that instant, but they get the shutdown on Yui. That's good news. They grab a paycheck there, but meanwhile, Wolfie pushing bot side, and the rest of the team will retreat back. Make sure not to overextend once again, Wolfie. We've seen what happens when you do that. Please back up now. That's not where you want to be basing. And this Aphelios is probably going to go down. Lots of shock. Oh my holy guacamole. That Tristana exploded.
That was also just the ult difference right there. Having rank 2 ult against a level 10 target who doesn't, there was no way he expected that damage to come out, especially when, you know, he's been up when it comes to KDA the entire time. And it really just goes to show you it's not just about the pretty KDA, it's also about the actual gold that you're able to get yourself. 40 CS up, showing a lot of value.
Yeah, I mean, if you build Collector and you put points into Lethality and you're able to hit the Tristana, feels pretty good for Wolfie, turns out. So good stuff to him as he's able to win his 1v1 in the bot lane. Can't even land the Malphite ult, Yurasan, in that instant. So now it is DOV who claim control over this top side of Summoner's Rift, looking to push their lead and tempo even further. It is Calibrum, Chakram, Celebrum. It is a lot of damage here onto this Baron, which is going down pretty fast. Event Horizon gonna force a flash out of Kakashi.
Still
but
doing
here
Baron,
comes
guys.
the Baron. It's already gone. Massive shuffle going to force the issue. Here comes the engage. There's the Cataclysm over the wall with a nice flag and drag setup, and it's a killing spree for GGMB. Winner's Elo gonna go low, gonna be knocked up into the air, and it's damage over the wall. Double kill to this Jarvan, the 4th, but he's got 2, making 3. Get the flash and the rocket jump away. Applause cannot escape. He is dead to rights, and Yui has gotten number 6. GGMB gonna use the Primordial Burst to take him down. Shut down, give it to Chris, but Wolfie under the turret will sacrifice himself. Shut down, gonna be passed over to Yurasan, and it's a fiesta, it's a bloodbath, it's an ace for DOV as Dare Maroon are taking off and Baron Siege is on.
100% that was a mistake to trade your life for the 80 carry there at the very end, but you know what? The message was sent. That's all it was. The message.
What?
And well,
is
our food.
Reportable? Question mark? Like literally Disco Nunu sprinting it into the enemy mid laner. What is going on? Exhaust is on. 1,000 gold shutdown. Nice Solar Flare gonna clean up the kill. Applause grabs it. And I'm pretty sure that is 4 to 5 Barons now taken away from DOV. But do they care? Absolutely not. It is a 4-fun game as they look to take down the other #1 seed here in UML.
It's definitely getting into that 4-fun range as it is 13k gold advantage for DOV. Yes, they gave over a lot of shutdowns at that moment, but it's still a 13k gold lead, and now they're going to get themselves a 3rd dragon as well.
Yep. Your son, hello, get in there, my friend. You got to figure out what you want to do. Quarter HP already. Cataclysm gonna clean him up. Yurasan absolutely eviscerates his health bar by standing there and watching the enemies auto attack him. Winner's Elo, you got 1,000 gold shutdown and you immediately died for it. You're a Malphite, you're a rock, you're not the carry, you're only the anchor for the Dare Maroon team as they try to defend their base now. DOV don't even care about the dragon. They'll finally pull back to clean this one up. But Dare Maroon are in shambles, and DOV blades have caused and torn them to pieces.
It's not a whole lot for Dare Maroon here. They need to find a pick. It has to come from this Nunu, and they're going to chase. They just don't have the damage, though.
Get his ass! Yui's gonna die! Yeah, clean it up! Oh, please kill him! Finally, shutdown's gonna be given over. Grizz picks it up. 2-4-2. Call it even on the KDA. Save it at the end of the day here for dear Maroon, because you gotta save your mentals after this one, Nightstar. Things are rough for this team as DOV once again claims control over the Rift. And look, you just go back for home guards, you build Deadman's Plate, you sprint out of the base at the speed of light. Yeah, that is top tier Nunu gameplay. Get this guy in the LCS. He is the best Nunu player in Unified, guaranteed.
He is certainly getting more value now that they've lost all their tier 2s. So that means if he sits in base, he can instantly engage on you if you ever walk up to your tier 3. It's genius. It was all calculated.
Those pesky turrets are always in the way for the Nunu. You let the enemy team take them. Nightstar, this is why you're the color caster. You got the big brain. I wouldn't have thought of genius strats like those. We leave it up to Fish our friends to come up with those kind of galaxy brain maneuvers. As Baron spawns here in about 2 minutes, Drake in about 3.5, and I'm pretty sure DOV are just gonna wait around till their next objectives to clean this one up.
Baron timing is really just perfectly lined up for them to secure that and just walk for the dragon after reset. Everything just lines up perfectly here. So DOV, they don't have to do a whole lot. Yes, they have a 15k cold lead and they can just try and end it, but they don't need to. And I like the more patient approach here, as we now have third item starting to come through. Gunshin very close to that death cap as well. Slight lull in the action is perfect for especially you to catch your breath and also witness. Well, okay. Well,
I can't. What is this? That's reportable. Like, if that is in my solo queue games,
running.
I'm actually sending a support ticket because he is sprinting it down mid lane on repeat, man. What is going on? These are diamond players. And DRE, man, they're just having fun at this point. They know this one's over. DOV putting up the sun disc and drawing their line of the sand. This is our territory. Nice moves from Gunshin to make the little clean shuffle. I forget what that one's called. Red Mercy, maybe? I don't know. Something like that. Instead, it's time for DOV to end this one out. Here comes the siege. Where does Winter's Elo ult instead? He just ults the Jar of Venice.
Here we go!
Has to get his way out. Nunu, big engage. Just kidding. Just walks away. Flash out from Winter's Elo as well. And a slap down from the Gnar. Inhibitor turret gone. Inhibitor now at about 10% HP. One auto from Wolfie finishes that one off. And Inhibitor now dead. The team will back away for now. They got what they came for. It is now Inhibitor exposed. And Fish and friends, please, please, my friend, just stay in your base.
I mean, diamonds are created from carbon under pressure. However, when carbon gets really loose, call it pencil lead. Fish our friends, definitely looking a little like pencil lead rather than diamond.
Well, he's under pressure now, almost stealing it away. Yeah, definitely pencil lead after that one. Could have been a diamond, but no, he's relegated to silver or lead or whatever kind of elo he's playing in. 3 and 9. Kakeshi, that's not where you want to be, my friend. Taunt, Aftershock procced, and somehow he's not dead yet. Applause finishes the kill, but here comes the re-engage. Wolfie is so strong in this Aphelios. He takes down one, cleanses the cage, because it does not matter. They're going for the end. Nightstar, this is it. There is nowhere left to hide.
32 kills for DOV. They're going to want more.
Okay, they're going for the affiliate shutdown. Big bomb. Actually grabbed the AD carry. Misstep. The cleanse wasn't there. Flash not in time. And Winter Zelo going to be taken down by Gunshoot. Is looking to 1v1 the enemy mid laner, but you're a freaking Malphite. With steel caps, you do not deny the damage from Gunshin. And it is now 3v2 in the base. Inhibitor number 2 going to be taken down before anything else. And the re-engage from the Nunu might be big. Cannot be slowed. Knock up. Gale force forward. And Yorsan grabs the shutdown. Flag and drag does not interrupt the rocket jump. Now they're looking for the re-engage as well with the solar flare. Yurasan hopping all over the place, but he drops one more time. Applause 1v2. The Leona is strong, but not strong enough. One more boomerang, one more auto. Cleans up the kill. Ace, finally, for DOV Blades, as Dare Maroon will falter at the critical moment at the final hour. DOV take them down.
The final clap for applause there, and now there's so many minions. The minions will just finish the game for them.
Please
save the KDA!
Yes! Save the KDAs, pad the stats, whatever you want. Wolfie's out of here, so am I, because good God, DRE just got eviscerated.
37 kills for them in a 30-minute game. They themselves were getting more than a kill per minute there, and we were on an absolute speed run of something. I don't know what, but Fisher Friends got a hot day.
Not League of Legends. We ain't speeding around League of Legends, because that was not League of Legends. No one here, I don't know who's in chat, who's watching, please stop. Just erase everything from your minds. None of that is in your minds going forward for playoffs or anything like that, because that needs help. Fish and Friends, if you need support, reach out. We're here for you. I thought it was Wolfie that was going to be mentally unstable after the series, but I'm pretty sure DRE lost it more than I did in that game. That was bad.
You know, at least someone was having fun that game. I'm sure Fisher Friends was. And
you were. You got paid channel points. I lost everything. Ugh.
And you know what? The rest of DOV, they probably were having fun too.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta have fun in these instances. Honestly, I'm glad I got to be here with you, Nightstar. Couldn't have had as much fun with anyone else. Like, this was just too much fun to watch. That Nunu, I've not laughed so hard in a very long time. Disco Nunu, my friends, it's a real strategy. Nightstar, thank you for joining me. Final thoughts before we send it out for the evening. That was our last match, believe it or not.
DOV, it wasn't just the fact that with that Yakety Sax game, really just to top it off, but for the most part, they really did well when it came to map rotations and dictating how to play these objectives. Yeah. So going forward, they're a very scary team headed into playoffs. And for the side of Dare Maroon, I love Fisher Friends as a player.
Yeah, that's it. Thumbs up from us. Keep them on the roster. Good stuff, honestly. Glad to see a 4-0 team. Keep it that way. Thank you again, Nightstar, for joining me. For everyone's behind the scene who makes this happen, a massive thank you. I appreciated the opportunity. Glad I got to be here once again. That'll just about wrap it us for today. Make sure to stay tuned to Unified Live. They have action on all sorts of games and all sorts of variety content all throughout the week. But until next time of the UML, Nightstar and I will see you soon. Stay safe. Have a good night.